Hi, it's solar power installation time again. Yes, this is the third time I've installed a home solar power system. I'll link in the videos down below on the huge playlist of all my solar videos if you haven't seen them. The reason I'm doing the upgrade is because we have made changes to the roof, which meant that we had to take the two existing systems that I had down, and today we're getting them reinstalled back on the top with an additional small expansion as well, and potentially a bigger expansion with a battery, but that'll be in a future video. So 11 years ago now, I'll link in these videos if you haven't seen them, I installed a 3 kilowatt system using 12 250 watt LG panels with a 3 kilowatt Sunnyboy inverter, which is still going fantastically, but we will actually replace that Sunnyboy inverter today because we're upgrading to a hybrid inverter, and that old Sunnyboy wasn't a hybrid. And then just over 3 years ago, I installed a new microinverter LG system in addition to the 3 kilowatt system. We moved the 3 kilowatt system from one side of the roof to the other. Wasn't optimal, but it got the morning sun. And then the new 5 kilowatt Enphase microinverter system, which consisted of 14 micro 295 watt Enphase IQ7 Plus microinverters and into a 2-string Enphase system, and that's been absolutely fantastic. So much so that we're actually going to replace that system back on the roof today. But because those old 250 watt panels that I had, they're a bit old school, they still work, we'd still probably get another 15 years out of those panels, but because we're taking the opportunity to install new panels, I thought I'd get new 415 watt panels. Yes, they aren't the highest capacity these days, but I got them dirt cheap. So I've got 14 new 415 watt panels, which will go into a 5 kilowatt in 2 strings of 7 each, which will go into a 5 kilowatt Deye Hybrid inverter, which you've seen a teardown video of. So brand new Trina panels, 415 watt. They will replace the old 12 250 watt panels. Stick with me. So they will replace that system. So I'm going from a 3 kilowatt to whatever 415, it's like 6 kilowatts. And then I am going to reuse the old 370 watt LG panels. They go into the 295 watt Enphase microinverters. I've done a video on why you can put an overrated panel on a smaller microinverter and pros and cons of both ways of doing that. So we're going to put all 14 of those back. So we've got 14 brand new 415 watt and 14 370 watt, but only go into 295 watt Enphase microinverters. So they will be limited peak power to 295 watts each. So it's just over 10 kilowatts total system, I believe. And we still have the old panels here, the old 250 watt LG panels, which are still great, but we don't have the roof space for them. Can't use them anymore, so I'm going to have to sell those. Anyone want 12 250 watt LG panels? Still pretty schmick, so I have to get rid of those. So putting on 28 new panels today. The solar install guys are here. It's been massive delays due to weather here, which screws up all the install schedules that they've got. But they're finally here today. It is a perfect day, and we're going to hopefully install 28 panels in one day. They're busy up there installing the racking. I'll take you up to have a look. But yeah, let's go. So here's the old 3 kilowatt string inverter, the old Sunnyboy 3000 TL-21. It's still going strong, and I will keep that. So I could probably leave it in the comments. Do you want a teardown video of that? So yeah, it's done. What is it? 300? I think we have to, because the string has been disconnected from it, and there's the new wiring for the 2 new strings. Oh, there we go. It just booted up. You can see that it has done the old Sunnyboy 38.273 megawatt hours. There you go. So salute to the old, salute in the chat to the old Sunnyboy inverter, which I'm sure it'll work for another 10 years easy. It's been a solid, reliable inverter, but it's not a hybrid. So I've got the new Deye Hybrid inverter because it supports a battery or many different types of battery chemistry, whereas this one didn't, and it's only 3 kilowatts. So I'm expanding to 5 kilowatts. So this one just couldn't do it anymore. Even though it did have a second string input, I couldn't use it because we're already maxed out on capacity. So we've got 2 2 strings are coming in, and the new Deye inverter has a dual DC isolator built into it. So I don't think they shouldn't have to install an external isolator there, but we've just got the AC breaker. They don't have to upgrade the AC going back to the switchboard on the other side of the house, because that's 4 square mil copper, and that will still easily handle the 5 kilowatt peak inverter there, so they don't have to touch that. So they're just going to take that down, install the new Deye inverter. So yeah, there's all the panels. Got the new Trinas, the old LGs, and then the older LGs, 250 watt. And these are the new Trina solar ones that are going on there, upside down. All the electrons will fall out. I'll flip that in the edit. This one here is actually a 440 watt panel. I do actually have 2 440 watt panels. The rest of them are 415. So I do actually have 16 of these panels, and I plan to put 2. So I have 2 spare. I do plan to put 2 on the pergola roof so that I can experiment with micro inverters just like on an individual panel basis. Because the new Deye inverter, which is here it is. You've seen a extreme teardown video of this. There you go. That actually supports a generator input, which actually is suitable for microinverter. So I can actually plug different brand microinverters into the generator input. So that's very handy. So the load is an emergency load, and grid goes to the grid. And the comms is just that, and has a battery input over there as well. But you've seen that, and it's a dual string system. So that's a 5 kilowatt jobby. And that will handle the 2 new strings for the Trina panels. You can see here that the others are 415 watt Trinas. So yeah, I just have a couple of extra 440s because they ran out of the cheapy stock 415s. And yes, the old fuse box is staying the same for now, but yeah, we had a delay on the switchboard upgrade, but that will still happen, so no worries there. So we still, and the meter upgrade didn't happen either. They wanted to convert me over to a smart meter from the dumb meter, but anyway, so we've still got the same one, so I'm not sure if that's going to happen. Endeavour Energy, they went, yeah, but I don't know. They just balked on it or something, and so as far as I know, we're keeping these for the time being, but they may change over to a smart meter. Not entirely sure, but that definitely won't happen today. So yeah, so that's imported from the grid. So currently, of course, and this is the export, we're currently exporting nothing. Of course, I'm keeping the solar analytics system. Everything starts staying the same in here until we get the switchboard upgrade, and then the Enphase system is all staying exactly the same because I'm not expanding the Enphase system at all. We've got the 2 Q relays here. They can actually support 11 panels per string. But they are actually, due to the roof arrangement at the moment, we're only going to have 6 panels on one of the relays, and we're going to have 8 panels on the other relay. So yeah, it's just the way that the roof alterations worked. So and the new tiles mounting and stuff like that. All the arrangements sort of changed a bit, but no worries. These can handle up to 11, so 8 in a string is no problem. And I know some people will ask, well, why am I going for a string inverter system? Why don't I just like expand the Enphase system, go entirely Enphase? Well, I love the Enphase system, it's really great, but it's crazy expensive. So it's really expensive. So I actually broke down the different options of how I could have gone with the new system. I could have gone I could have entirely scrapped the Enphase system, but that'd be a total waste. I could have got some resale value for it, but you know, not a huge amount. So yeah, I could have scrapped that and gone with entirely string-based systems, but then I need a giant string inverter. And yeah, the prices just went up and up. So the cheapest solution was to actually, of course, just keep the Enphase system. It's all there, all the wiring's all done, all the systems all installed properly, so just put those back. Along with the original LG panels, because they're fine, they're only 3 years old, no worries. And yeah, just keep that existing system and expand the existing 3 kilowatt string inverter to 5 kilowatts. They ran all new DC cables for that for new compliance reasons. So yeah, I had many options, and of course I could have expand. I could have got like an Enphase battery solution as well, one of their AC batteries. But once again, they're very, very expensive, and I never would have got my payback. I never would have got my money back on that system. It would have taken like, I don't know, 20, 30 years or something to get a payback on that, and the battery doesn't last that long. Whereas the new Deye inverter supports very low cost batteries, many different brand batteries. So yeah, that's why I went with that instead of the Enphase. So I'm going to have still a half and half pizza system. All right, so we're up on the roof, and there's all the old IQ 7 Pluses. They're still in excellent condition, no worries there whatsoever. So we'll just reuse all those, and so we've got 14 of those, and we will have an oddball arrangement just due to the tile roof structure. This Enphase one here, this will be horizontal. So we'll put 6 horizontal ones along here like this, and then we'll put the new DC string is going to be down there, and that will be a vertical portrait arrangement, and these ones will both be vertical here, I believe. So that's the idea. We've got the penetrators here. There you go. The wiring's been here for quite some time. As I said, it was all rain delayed. So in fact, you can see the fading on the electrical tape there. So yeah, so we've got AC here, and then on this side we've got the DC. So on both sides of the roof we'll have an AC and DC and Akadaka system, just because it's cool. So yeah, north is sort of out that way. So we will have basically all these ones on this side. We'll get the morning and midday sun, and then the afternoon sun will be on this side. So going to have 28 panels total. We have reused some of the old racking here, but they've also installed some of this new stuff over here, just because we didn't have enough and they weren't the correct lengths and all that sort of, you know, mounting jazz. So they are actually a different brand, I believe. They're black anodized, but yeah, it's not even midday, and they've already got the all the most of the, well, the, you know, a good lot of the racking installed. All the brackets are installed. So yeah, very quick. It's all coming along. And the reason that there's 2 penetrators here, even though we've only got 1 DC string, is because the other DC string actually comes back and just joins in here. So they'll have a junction box somewhere here. So, but there are 2 separate feeds going back down to the Deye inverter, 2 different DC feeds. But the AC feeds are entirely separate. So we've got 2 different, 2 4mm copper, I believe, running back to the Enphase. But yeah, so they're more than over capacity for the string that we're going to install. But yeah, they're getting the microinverters ready. Of course, they have to record all the serial numbers on them, because they're all individually serial numbered. That's the advantage of the micro inverters. So it's serial numbered, so what they do is when they're finished, they know which ones are installed where, on which panel, and then they send a drone up to get a shot of the entire roof, and then the software, the Enphase software, is very cool. Maybe I can show you that later when it's done, in that they map them all, so you know exactly if a microinverter fails or it's underproducing or something like that. You can find, you know exactly which one it is. So yeah, that's one of the advantages of the microinverters. If an individual panel fails or underperforms, or it's, you know, shaded or something like that, you can see that on the system, and then you know exactly which one it is. Got a lot of miscellaneous stuff in the back of their truck. It's a bit of a mess. There's a close-up look of the other rail that they're using. That does not look like a Clenergy brand, which is the other one that we had previously. So again, we've got a half and half pizza to go with our half and half system. So there you go, like, as all the old stuff is still here. The old there you go, that's the old what is it, black cobalt solar DC isolator. They have changed the regulations. You don't need a DC isolator on the roof anymore. It took them like a decade to come to that conclusion because they were just a fire risk, and there was no benefit. You've got a DC isolator down on the ground anyway. So yeah, no more DC isolators on the roof, I believe. Anyway, that's the plan. And that's one of the old ones as well. Oh, that was one of the AC ones for the Enphase. You can tell because, well, that's mains cable in there. That ain't your regular solar stuff. And we've got the new Trina panels up, and we've got the LG ones left. So yeah, we're recycling the old LGs, 370 watt jobbies. They're only like 3.5 years old, so we'll get probably another 20 years out of those. No problems whatsoever. And we have found a home, I think, for the 12, already found a home, I believe, for the 12 250 watt panels. They will be reused. They won't be recycled, so terrific stuff. And they're all up now, and we've just got the old 3 kilowatt system, so 11-year-old panels, the 250 watt LG jobbies. And as I said, you'll still get another 10-15 years out of those, easy, I think, because they had, well, I think at the time they had 20 years warranty, but then they extended that to 25, I think it was. And I think, pretty sure, they're still in. It's got a bit of lichen on it and stuff, but they're still in great condition. And they still perform. I didn't see any degradation, for those wondering, in the 3 kilowatt system, because I have been tracking the data over the last 11 years or more, and I have noticed no performance decrease in those. You know, there's like seasonal differences and stuff like that, but really, out of the data, I can't see any drop in those panels after 11 years. I'm sure there's like some, but it's basically down in the noise of, you know, the seasonal measurements. So yeah, really impressive with those LG panels. Of course, I only had to replace one due to it being shattered from a mystery object, which I still think is a micrometeorite, but you know, aliens. And here you go, starting to be installed. So these are vertical. So these are the new 415 watt Trina ones. They're vertical, so that's the DC string there. Haven't connected that up yet. And then they're going to put the LG ones horizontal. So there's going to be 6 horizontal along there. And yes, I was told that, yeah, part of the requirement is to do the AC switch up here still. But they don't have to do that for DC. So need a bit of clean on these. Still got some lichen and stuff like that, but they'll give them a clean once it's done. What's the other side like? Haven't been up yet. Oh yeah, there you go. Look at that. So there's the other side. So these are both vertical. I know it does look like they don't line up because they are different size and different type panels, but we don't care about looks. It's only the neighbor who sees it. So, and yeah, they do have this oddball cut out here, but that is the nature of my particular requirements and my particular roof. It is different to Joe Average. So yeah, Joe Average does not have a mix and match half and half pizza system like I've got, but there you go, that's looking fantastic. So this is going to be great. So both rising sun in the east and setting sun in the west will have both AC and DC systems. They have actually just connected up the Enphase system, but it has to do like because it's been off for quite a while. Apparently it takes like a day or two to reconfigure, but it is actually producing right now, I believe, which I should be able to see with my solar analytics system, but I can't see with the I can't see that data with the Enphase system yet. So anyway, yeah, the panels will get cleaned off, but and these will be horizontal. So 6 of those on one side and 8 on the other side. But all the Enphase ones are back and the DC's happening. Oh, it's like I bought one. There we go, just plugging in the Enphase microinverter now, and we're about to install this one. They're about to put the clamps on, and yeah, you can mount these horizontally or vertically. Makes no difference whatsoever. It's just a looks thing, really. So yeah, and these will get the morning sun and pretty much into up to 2 o'clock maybe, something like that. They'll still be producing, but yeah, I mean, you have to work around that's the thing, you have to work around the limits of what your roof actually has, which is why you might ask, well, why didn't I just do one big DC string? It's because, well, there's too many of them. It's a trade-off of where you can mount your panels, how many you want into a string for the startup voltage as well, and you've got the maximum string voltage, so you've got a minimum string voltage, a maximum string voltage, and this is for a string inverter, not for the microinverter Enphase, which is what we've got here. But yeah, it's all a particular trade-off, so there are various things you have to take into consideration based on each individual install. It's not as simple as going, oh, why didn't you whack, all of the panels, why'd you have only 7 in series on your string inverter? Well, that's just how it worked out in terms of our roof and maximum and minimum voltages on the strings as well. So yeah, anyway, so I'll hook these up in a minute. They'll be all done. I think the other side is all connected and working, but they're almost done, and it's only 3:30. So yeah, very impressed. They installed all the brackets and all of these. Only 2 guys did this. Hi, I was editing the video for my new solar system installation, which I've had reinstalled after some alterations. And this is just too funny not to share. It's a fail. It's one of those you had one job videos. And so I'm going to share this as a short video here. So it must be that newfangled wireless solar power everyone's talking about. Anyway, yeah, what a waste of my time, what a waste of Enphase's time, what a waste of their time because they didn't check. Crazy. Well, the problems continue. I've had no end of problems, and the Deye inverter is now installed. We upgraded the breaker to 32 amps on the other side, and we've got an isolator switch here. Apparently they don't use the breaker here anymore, they just use an isolator switch. So that's the AC isolator switch, and there's our new DC dual string DC thing coming in. And yeah, we've not only had problems setting this thing up, but unfortunately this screen is really hard to read, by the way. The green is an absolutely awful color to use outside. I'm not even sure if you can see that. The problem is I'm supposed to have 2 operational strings. I'm not sure if you can see that. I can't even see that on my camcorder screen. But yeah, 338 volts there, but we're only getting 30 watts. And the sun is out, and the second string, well, the second string's not actually connected at the moment, but we've actually measured it, and we're getting nothing out of it. So we're getting full voltage on the first string here. We're getting no voltage out of the second string, so the installers don't know what the hell's going on. So I'm not sure either. I'm not sure about this because the installers just left because they got other jobs, so they thought this would be easy, and but unfortunately it is not. They've got the earth wire for the DC string, and that's going into the battery terminal. That's kind of a problem. Because I want to install a battery, so I want to have my big fat battery cable coming out of there. So I don't know where they've installed it inside. It means I'm going to have to take the cover off and see where they've actually physically electrically connected that to, because offhand I don't know. And the isolator switch, of course, is built in now, so we have no separate isolator out here. Apparently that's a new standard. I was told that all Australian compliant inverters must now have the isolator built in. So that is not optional, but apparently it is hooked up. We've got the Wi-Fi dongle here, and it is talking, as are the birds here. But yeah, anyway, I haven't installed an external current clamp on the grid side because that's only for, you don't need that for the basic install. That's only if you want the energy monitoring battery system and, you know, export capability, net capability and all that sort of jazz. But Yeah, anyway, we got no idea why the power, we're getting 330 odd volts, and we're only getting 0.1 amps out, and the sun is shining. So we've got no idea what the heck's going on there, and no idea why the second string is not outputting anything. Unbelievable. Just no end of problems. Oh, and I forgot about the other problem. My solar analytics system here has also stopped working, but that's got nothing to do with the install at the moment. This actually stopped logging 7 p.m. last night. It just stopped. It was working absolutely fine, because I was sitting at the office this morning while they were installing this new thing, checking this, and I was getting no data out of it, and I couldn't see anything. And the L3 LED flashing there means that there's no 4G connection. So I don't know what the heck's going on. Yes, I've tried turning the power off and on again, and nothing. So, I don't know. I do have the new 4G model, because the old, I used to have a 3G model. I've done a video on that. That one actually very conveniently blew up. And they sent me the new 4G one. Of course, 3G is actually being discontinued here in Australia very shortly, or could even be right now. But yeah, no, this is 4G. So, like, coincidence, what are the odds? What are the odds of this thing failing, just 10 hours before I try and install the new system? Unbelievable. No end of problems. Woo! I got it working. I got it working. Look, we're producing 770 watts. The problem was that, it wasn't correctly set up in the correct mode. So if we go into settings over here, sorry if you can't see this screen, it is absolutely not terrific at all. It looks terrible on the camcorder screen. Anyway, system work mode over here. So it's got, these 3 different operational modes. 0 export to current transformer. We don't actually have the current transformer installed. 0 export to load means that you don't export anything to the grid at all, and it all goes to the emergency load output, which is the load output here, which I will eventually actually connect some stuff to, the fridges and other emergency backup stuff. I will actually connect that through to the load eventually, but not at the moment. So I've got to put it in sell-in first mode. Otherwise, it's not going to do anything at all. Yeah, so all these different modes. So there you go. That fixed that. So we are now actually exporting something. Woohoo! 920 watts. There you go. That explains why we're getting no current out of the thing, because it needs to measure current. It needs to go into a load somewhere, and there's no load internally. The only load is either the battery or the grid or the emergency backup load output. So yeah, so there you go. Got to select the correct operational mode. That doesn't explain why our second string is working, but given that they didn't install the Enphase, they didn't actually physically connect the Enphase system, I suspect that, there's some sort of bad connection up on the string ups there. So they'll be back. And they will investigate that. But anyway, we are actually up and running. So that's the problem with this. This Deye inverter is so ridiculously flexible and capable with all these different modes. This is one of the reasons that I got it, is because it's, you can have emergency gen input, which can support microinverters or generators. It can support solar, wind inputs. It can support flexible dynamic battery hybrid charging with different chemistries. It can support different time of load offsets to the grid, to the battery, and all sorts of weird and wonderful things. But anyway, we are now producing power. Shame I can't see it with my solar analytics system, because that's still down. But unbelievable. And only one of the strings is working. I'm not actually sure which string it's actually hooked up to. I'll be able to tell if it dies in an hour or so. Then it's obviously the one on the eastern side, not the one on the western side. But yeah, I think we have a connection problem somewhere up on the roof, I suspect. I ain't going to fix that that's their problem. And just a quick check on the wiring, not that there's much to do anyway. You just connect the two DC strings there into the breaker, and there's that earth coming into the DC through the negative battery thing. Would have been nice to take it through one of the COM ports, but we can reroute that later when I install a battery. Just got a little terminal there to connect, and the earth is connected through to there, and then you've got your mains into there. It's pretty simple, and when I want to hook up a generator load, I just hook it up to there, take it out through here, and if I want to connect the if I want the microinverter input, I can whack that in there as well. And I'm looking at getting a third-party board. I'm going to order it today, a third-party board that plugs into the 485 in here, and then I can use like open source software to actually monitor this thing and stuff. So yeah, no worries. And of course there's the big ass battery terminals up there. And I wish I was making this up, but I'm not. The Electrician didn't even have a multimeter. He reckons somebody else had it, so he had to borrow mine. So I got the old Fluke 17B at home. No worries. All right, well, it's morning time, and the solar guys came back last night while I wasn't here, yes, night, to try and fix the second string here, and I didn't hear back from them, and they didn't tell Mrs. EEVblog. They just scurried around on the roof for a while and then buggered off. And I came out this morning. The sun's kind of sort of up, and we're getting, and I have no idea if you can see that, we're getting 17 volts on the second string there, which is just some residual thing, and nope, we're getting 295 volts and 430 watts on the other string. So nope, sorry, this video is going to end with me having a partially working system. Oh, the sun is now completely out, but I'll tell you what, look at this. I cobbled this together last night. I rate my setup. Look at this. I got a Raspberry Pi 3. I've got a battery bank sitting on a ladder, and there it is. I've got it hooked up to Solar Assistant, which is a third-party app that runs on the Raspberry Pi here, and it logs all your data, and that is working quite well. You can see that the graphs are starting to come up there. Haven't used this yet. Yeah, there we go. We can expand that in, and yeah, the Solar Assistant works great. And I set this up because I couldn't get the stupid Wi-Fi thing working, so I've replaced the dongle, the Wi-Fi dongle under there. I'll keep that as course, because apparently you need it for firmware updates, but I've just plugged it because it's actually a serial port. So I just found an old serial cable, and I installed Solar Assistant on the Raspberry Pi 3. I had it in a nice alloy case here. So yeah, rate my setup from how you doing to 10. How many how you doings out of 10 for this? But I'll eventually drill a hole in the wall. Eventually, like tomorrow or something, I'll drill a hole in the wall and 3D print a Raspberry Pi holder, a wall mount holder for that. And I don't know how I'm going to get the power to it. Haven't figured that out yet, but yeah, I'll figure something out. And yeah, so that'll be my monitoring system, because everyone I know with the Deye system, they all say the same thing, that the included data monitoring for this Deye inverter, Deye Cloud or whatever it is, and then they've got another third-party app or something, I don't know, something man, Solar Man or something, I don't know. Anyway, I could not get the damn thing working to save my life. So it's absolute garbage, whereas this Solar Assist thing worked absolutely great, so no problems whatsoever. And we can go in here and we can go, I don't know, I've literally just started using this thing, and there's the inverter, and yeah, we're only getting that 17 volts out of there. We're getting 300 volts out of the first string, so I have no idea. It's not connected on the roof. So the people who installed this thing, not only did they goof up my Enphase system, they physically didn't connect it, but they've also done the same thing. Something has gone wrong. There's a break somewhere, and it's not my job to troubleshoot it. I paid them to install it so they can come back and damn well fix it. So unfortunately, it's not a fully working system at the moment, but it's a 3/4 working system, because I've got 2 Enphase strings, in quote marks, plus 1 string working on the with the new Trina solar panel. So anyway, I'll keep you up to date. So anyway, that is the dodgy half and half pizza install of the reinstall of my solar system. And no, like, I've got just unusual requirements because I've got panels that fell off the back of a truck, microinverters that fell off the back of a truck, and I've got an old system, and I've got a roof in a particular configuration, and I've just got unusual requirements. I know everyone would, you know, Joe Average would just install a complete Enphase system, or they install a complete string system like this and use a bigger inverter or 2 parallel inverters or whatever. But no. Anyway, it does give me, I've got a microinverter system, I've got a dual string system now, and I can, I'll do future videos. Once I've got a couple of months worth of data from this thing, I will look at that and analyze installing a battery on this thing. I'll mount it outside here, so I'm not sure what the deal is here, because the bike shed usually goes here, so not sure. We might have to find another solution for the bike shed, because I want my battery to sit on the outside here, and they're a decent size, so not sure what's going on there. But anyway, yeah, follow me on EEVblog too. I won't do any data or other updates on the main channel. I will just put them on EEVblog too, like I have done over the years. So if you want to see those, subscribe to EEVblog too and get notifications and all that sort of jazz, because I will follow up, and I'll follow up on when I get this stupid second string working as well. Anyway, we're almost there. Catch you next time. Just a quick update here, just after I finished the edit. Here's my solar analytics system. Started magically working in again at like 7 p.m. last night, so I don't know what the problem was. And you can actually see yesterday, this is when, like, it died and it's got no data in there. That's not the sun ramping down like that. That was like, there was something wrong there. So yeah, I don't know what happened. Probably like a 4G network thing, something like that. Anyway, the Enphase system is the monitoring system that I've got that monitors both the Enphase system, the actual production of the Enphase system, and the production from the new Deye system. So it's got current clamps in weird configurations. I've done videos on that, and it allows me to monitor both combined, because the Enphase system, of course, doesn't know that the Deye system exists, and the Deye system doesn't know that the Enphase system exists. So that's what the solar analytics is for. It combines those two systems. And you can see it's very cloudy and overcast today, but you can see it hit a peak of 3.82 kilowatts there, and you can see that the Enphase one only got a peak of 2.3 kilowatts there. So obviously the rest of it's coming from the Deye, which is still one string down. Haven't heard back from the installers yet. They'll probably come out back on Monday, or sometime next week. And as yet, I haven't figured out how to remote log into that Solar Assistant thing, but I'm sure that is possible. So yeah, there you go. I do actually have one more ability to monitor both systems, actually. And that system is the MyEnergi Zappi that I installed for my EV, which so I can have basically 100% solar-powered EV, my Hyundai Ioniq, which is still going great, by the way, after like 4 years. So it doesn't cost me anything. I charge that using excess power. So that's why the MyEnergi Zappi system, which is another totally independent system with its own current clamps. I've got current clamps coming out the wazoo in my fuse box. It's terrible, Muriel. Anyway, yeah, so there you go. Anyway, that is another independent way that it monitors the production from both systems combined, so it knows how much excess I've got that's otherwise would be fed back into the grid, and I'm getting paid a pittance for. In fact, very shortly, I'm going to have to pay. Yes, I'm going to have to actually pay the utility company to feed power back into the grid. Thank you very much, government, who will still give you a rebate. New South Wales government will still give you a rebate to install a solar-powered system, and then they will charge you to feed that power back to the grid. Oh! And of course, most battery systems will not have a payback period. They're just still so expensive. The prices didn't absolutely plummet unless you've got like a Deye system like I've got that can support like really low cost third-party batteries. Then maybe I think I can get a reasonable payback on that in like 5 or 8 years or something like that. But yeah, it's a slow payback. But for most people, as I said, if you installed an Enphase battery, you would never you would never. The cost is so high, you would never get the payback period. Or if I install one of the other brand string inverters where you are locked into that brand's batteries, once again, they're higher price batteries than the lower cost third party ones you can get. Then you're just never going to get a payback. So yeah, everyone's going to get stung. So yay, the government. So yeah, just my luck, huh? I had no end of problems with this system. They screwed up the installation of the Enphase system. They told me it was working and it wasn't, and I had to troubleshoot. I had to waste my time to troubleshoot this thing. I didn't have to, but of course I'm going to do it, right? Anyway, so yeah, I found the problem for that. They came back and fixed that. So the Enphase system's now working, and now I don't know, something's still gone wrong with the string inverter. It's not hard. You connect them all in series and you can measure that they're all hooked up. I don't know. Anyway, hopefully that'll get that broken string will get fixed next week. And they still haven't taken the drone shot of my roof here. So that's my old system, but that is the new Enphase array system. I've got 6 panels on the eastern side, so that gets the morning and midday sun, and I've got 8 panels on the Enphase, and then below that I've got then the 7 new panels here on one string and 7 panels here on the other string. And because that's what you want 2 separate strings if you've got panels in different orientations like that, which I have, basically the eastern side and the western side. I can put panels on the northern-ish side of my roof, but that's not Mrs. EEVblog approved. So anyway, and it'll look crap. You'd see the panels from the front of the house and it just look like garbage. So, we've got a bit of a compromise system, half and half pizza. Anyway, rate my setup out of 10 down below. Catch you next time.